Okay, so from here, basically, if we apply the R formula, right, then we know that if we consider this as A and this as B, then our R will be just the square root of A squared plus B squared, which turns out to be square root 25, which is 5. At the same time, our alpha is tangent inverse B over A, which in this case is 4 over 3. That turns out to be 53.1 degrees. Like combining these two answers, it means that our equation is the same as R sine theta plus alpha, right? And this is our answer for A. Now for part B here, you can see that A is equals to 5 and B is equals to sine. So, and cosine comes first, therefore we are using R cosine. So this basically means that we are using R cosine theta minus alpha. Whereas for this, sine comes first, so we are using R sine theta plus alpha. Similarly, your R would be square root A square plus B square. Now this basically gives us square root 169, which is 13. And our alpha is equals to tangent inverse B over A, which is 12 over 5. That gives us 67.4 degrees, right? So following which, taking these two answers, that gives us our answer to be 13 cosine theta minus 67.4 degrees, right? Right, so we check that here in part C, sine comes first, and you must make sure that both arguments are the same, right? So it should look something like R sine theta minus alpha, but in this case it's a 2 theta, so we are writing it as 2 theta minus alpha. Note that here the angle that we're looking at is 2 theta, right? Again, here it tells us that there's nothing in front, so that means the A is equals to 1, and here the B is square root 3, right? So take note, it is the B, whatever is the B, right, it does not include any negative sign. So a lot of students tend to think that the B is square root 3, which is wrong now. So just be sure of that. Okay, so your R will be the square root of 1 square plus square root 3 square, which is 3. That gives us square root 4 or 2. And from here, alpha is tangent inverse B over A, which is tangent inverse square root 3 over 1. That gives us 60 degrees. Okay, then from here again, applying the formula R sine, so in this case it's 2 theta, not theta, minus 60 degree. Okay, so without further ado, I think for the rest you can try it yourself. I'm just going to write down the answer, right? So D, I think you should be able to get the answer quite easily. Right, for E, what I'll do is maybe I just suggest taking out the negative 5, right? So you can write this as a negative of 5 sine theta plus 5 cosine theta. So you don't have to deal with the negative, right? Treat A as your 5, B as 5, then you will have basically R to be square root 5 square plus 5 square, right? Which is the same as, or you can even just probably even take out the entire negative 5, right? So what you're left with is just sine theta plus cosine theta. Since the negative 5 is eventually going to be a constant, right? So for this part, you can see that A is equals to 1 and B is equals to 1. Therefore, your R can be just square root of 1 square plus 1 square. So it doesn't mean that your R must be the coefficient, because remember that your trigo function is still, you can still use factorization, right? You can still factorize out any common factors. So here, if I identify that negative 5 is a common factor, just take it out, right? Just take it out. You don't have to use it, okay? Now from here, what is alpha? Alpha is tangent inverse 1 over 1, which is basically 45 degree. And taking these two answers, you can now form your R formula, which is including the negative 5 at the front, then sine theta plus 45 degrees. Since here it is a plus, right? So remember here there's a plus. So this one should be a plus, right? Because there's a plus here, this should be a plus. Now initially you have a negative 5, so don't forget the negative 5, okay? And for the last question is actually it's a scam, it's a bluff, because you can see that this is theta, where this is 3 theta. It is not possible to do R formula. R formula, you need to make sure that the argument or the angle is the same, right? So we cannot apply R formula here, right? So the answer is we cannot apply R formula for F. All right, so please take note. Thank you.